How to make executive recruiters find you, a deep dive into executive search. There are so many myths about executive recruiters, what they do, how they find you, and the benefits they bring to executive career management. Welcome. In this video, I will uncover how you can position yourself so executive recruiters come to you. We'll go into the strategies, the processes, and the venues executive recruiters use to find top executive talent like you. And more importantly, how you can be found. Firstly, though, I think it's very important to emphasize one thing. Executive recruiters don't work for you. They work for their clients who set them a mission to source talent with specific guidelines, what they're looking for in that search. So understanding how executives recruiters search, they are highly strategic. They don't just post jobs and wait. Instead, they use a blend of research, networking, technology, and direct outreach to identify both active and passive candidates, especially those not actively looking for new roles. Here's a quick breakdown of where they find the candidates: referrals and networks, their own database they've been building. If they've been in as an executive recruiter for a long time, they have an extensive database, and you need to get on that database. And there are videos on my YouTube channel, Martin Buckland, on how to get onto that database. So referrals and networks, their own database, industry events and conferences, social media, and of course, LinkedIn being the number one, targeted job boards, direct resume submissions, database and ATS searches, alumni groups, professional associations, and online search and Boolean queries. The recruiter's process step by step. Let's walk through a typical executive search process. They have a client briefing and research. Recruiters meet with their client to define the role and ideal candidate's profile, leading to developing the job description. They map the market, identifying target companies and the talent pool. They do market mapping. They build a list of potential candidates, often constructing organizational charts and mapping reporting lines at target companies. Then they go and source candidates. This involves leveraging their personal network, their firm network, their proprietary databases, LinkedIn, and referrals to identify both active and the passive candidates. They then approach candidates. They reach out discreetly, often through a personalized message or calls to gauge interest and a fit. Hint, if an executive recruiter contacts you, always take their call and listen to their request or proposal, even though you might be happy with your job and you have no intention of moving right now, because you are building and solidifying a relationship with an executive recruiter who could help you later on. So if you don't feel that job is they're asking, just enter and enter into the talent pool is for you. Just be open and honest and express that you would be welcome for other approaches for following appointments. They do an assessment. Candidates are evaluated through interviews, references, and sometimes psychometric assessments. Then they create a shortlist. Only the strongest candidates, the candidates closest to that job description, normally between 4 and 7, are presented to the client with detailed reports and background checks. Where do recruiters actually look? Here's a closer look at the venues and the methods. The venue, how do recruiters use it? They use LinkedIn Advanced Search. Now, they have a different type of LinkedIn that you and I have. very expensive program from LinkedIn, and they can pinpoint talent a lot easier than you and I can. And then they go on to direct outreach, reviewing public activity, and then they have referrals, tapping into their existing network for trusted recommendations. And then they go to the industry, they go to the events, the conferences, the networking, meeting with potential candidates in person. They go to job boards, they're the niche and the targeted, sourcing active candidates in specific functions or industries, resume databases and ATS keyword searches for submitted resumes within their own database. And then they go to alumni, they go to groups and associations, industry associations, and then they assess exclusive talent pools and recommendations. They check Twitter, they check Facebook, and more they're doing Boolean searches on Google to find executives through advanced search queries, proprietary platforms like Gated Talent, Minerva Group, etc., for confidential executive search profiles. How to make yourself discoverable. Let's translate this into actionable steps. Make sure you optimize, fully complete your LinkedIn profile. I can't say this enough. The more text you put on your LinkedIn profile, the more you're going to be found, not just by executive recruiters, but other people sourcing your talent. Use relevant keywords in your 220 character headline. Fill the About Me section. 1900 characters is the optimum for Google, and the experience section. So the more you've put in your LinkedIn profile from top to bottom, the more you will be found. The more Google and LinkedIn algorithms will help generate more traffic. Make sure your achievements and impacts are clear. Recruiters are searching for you as a performance-driven executive. Show those quantifiable results. Now, if you are in career transition, you can. This is your own option. There's many different schools of thought here, but you can turn on the open to work, and that's visible to only recruiters confidentially. So engage in thought leadership, post articles, comment on industry trends, make yourself visible. Don't hide in that closet. Share and comment on other people's posts and join relevant groups. The more conversation, dialogue you have on LinkedIn, the more you will be found. So hint, here, if you are in career transition, i.e. unemployed, you need to spend at least 6 hours a day on LinkedIn. Build and leverage your network, attend industry events, conferences, seminars. These are prime venues for recruiter networking. Accept speaking gigs in your industry, regionally and nationally and internationally. Uncover podcasts relevant to you and your skills, plus your personal brand, and offer to be a guest. That's going to increase your visibility. Stay in touch with former colleagues. Never lose track with your former colleagues. They could be worth gold to you later on in your career. And industry peers. So referrals are a major source of candidates for executive recruiters. Join and contribute to your alumni professional association. Become a leader in your alumni chapter or your industry association, strengthening your visibility and credibility. Be visible beyond LinkedIn. Maintain a professional presence on other platforms such as Twitter and Facebook. Publish articles, write white papers, or speak at events. Recruiters notice thought leaders and subject matter experts, and they want to talk to them. So for more information on how to be a subject matter expert, view my video on how to become a subject matter expert that gets noticed, available on my YouTube channel, Martin Buckland. Ensure your digital footprint is clean and professional. Recruiters will Google you. Have you Googled yourself recently? Make sure you do, because there could be some what we call digital dirt on there. So how to target the right executive recruiters? Review the recruitment firm's websites, identify the executive recruiter that specializes in your function or industry. Follow those executive recruiters on LinkedIn. Uncover mutual connections. Message them to see if they can introduce you to that executive recruiter. Comment on the executive recruiter's posts. Therefore, you're getting on their radar. Off LinkedIn, use your network to see if anyone is connected and ask for a possible joint email connection. Most executive recruiters at all the large and domestic firms share researchers with their peers. One researcher often has ambitions to become an executive recruiter and is shared between 3 or 4 executive recruiters. Call the reception and ask for the name and the email address of that researcher and the telephone number of the researcher working for a specific executive recruiter you want to connect with. They will often facilitate your ATS friendly resume CV entering the firm's database and secure a place on the executive recruiter's radar. Here's another hint. If your resume is not ATS friendly, you will not go on their database because they use a ATS, applicant tracking system. That's a scanning application extensively. So you will lose out and you won't be found when they're looking for talent. Here is a tip to proactively submit your resume to reputable executive search firms and keep them up to date along with your LinkedIn profile. Stay open to conversations. Even if you're not actively seeking, respond to recruiters' inquiries. You never know when that right opportunity might arise somewhere down in the future. A conversation with an executive recruiter, if they approach you, is worth gold. Believe you me, never miss out on that opportunity. Be polite, be courteous. Be clear about your career goals, expected salary, and what would motivate you to consider moving positions, a new appointment. What recruiters look for in candidates? Recruiters are searching for proven leadership, quantifiable results, industry expertise, and transferable skills. Thought leadership, credibility, influence, a cultural fit, adaptability, ambition, drive, and a penchant for continuous learning. That you would need to get a strong list of references that they can tap into when you're coming to close to the hopefully the end of that research, the recruitment research. So you need to have a list of references. So that, and verify them, because some people don't get the right references, and then those references give them a terrible reference. So final tips and a recap for you to make recruiters find you: optimize your LinkedIn and your digital presence, grow and nurture your professional network, be visible in your industry and open to new connections, keep your achievements front and center, respond professionally to recruiter outreach even if you're not interested now. By understanding and aligning with the venues and the processes executive recruiters use, you'll dramatically increase your chances of being found for your next executive opportunity. Thanks for watching today. Don't forget to get onto my YouTube channel, press the subscribe button and the bell button, and where you will be notified of all future videos that are coming down. But there are many executive recruiter videos on my YouTube channel. So best of luck in connecting with executive recruiters. They can bring you huge value in your career management.